Let's get ready to rumble!
Hit the wrong buttons there. But hello everyone, yours truly, Chrislevi13 here. And I'll say hi to the chat in just a moment. But everybody that is here, I was thinking about what I should do for the Vault 13 podcast today and also Halo and all that. And I was like, and then I realized yesterday I realized it. This channel is 8 years old. So I thought, you know what? I said I was going to revamp over April and May, revamp the stuff that I do on the channel. A lot of good stuff coming your way, you know, and all that. And make things bigger value for everybody that's here because of what times we're going in, even though some places are soon wanting to lift social distancing and do all this different stuff. You know, and everybody goes through different things. Everybody sees the world in a different light. So I was looking at my channel and I was like, you know, I've been here 8 years doing Chrislevi13 through YouTube, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Kick, Box, Twitter, TikTok. I've had this, that. I've had Snapchat. I've had all these different things, you know. And I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen people come and stay. I've seen people come, get big, get the money, and leave. I've had gained friends. I've lost friends. So I thought that I would just go live, talk about my story, and then one of the systems I got right here set up, my Xbox One, my PlayStation 4, my Nintendo Switch, my PS2, play some games for the night till about midnight. It's 8, you know, till about midnight or maybe a little after, depending on how things go, and just have some fun. You know, so let me check my phone real quick and all that jazz. So share the stream out. We're gonna get into who's all here in the chat, and then we're gonna get into my story, beginning, middle, end. Not tell everything, but give you the high points on my whole YouTube experience and all that. And if you enjoy this, you're liking what I'm doing, give me a hell yeah. We're going to do Halo 1 on the channel. We're going to do some more Kingdom Hearts. We're going to do some more Borderlands. We're going to do some Bioshock. We're going to do some more Mario Kart and Apex and multiplayer stuff. We're going to be doing all that throughout the rest of the year. But it's just, when are we going to do it? That's what I'm going to get into after I tell my story. So let's say hi to the chat. Hello everyone, hey, what's up Dank Meme Center? What's up Stitched? And what's up Zombie J and Cabin? If you would kindly take the tweet that I put out of this and I tagged some people in it, take that tweet on your personal Twitter, share it out, tell people that I am live, tell people that I am here. If you've got a Discord you can drop it into and get people to come watch. Let them do that. Let them come watch because I'm about to get into my story and all that jazz. So y'all ready to hear my YouTube journey from 2012, why I created the YouTube channel, to it changing and some things happening to where my focus on the channel is now and all that. Feel free, you know. So I want to let y'all know, if y'all are ready for that, just let me know. And hello Cabot and everybody that's here. If y'all are ready for that, let me know with the traditional, the easiest thing to do. Give me a hell yeah, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of my drink, and we're gonna get into it.
Hell yeah!
So let me just make sure I got a second screen over here so I can actually look some stuff up. But yeah, hopefully y'all can hear me well and all that. Last night I just took the time with the community and played with some people on the PS4 and all that. So things, you know, and work's been a little bit. I've been adjusting to a new work schedule the last couple weeks as well, you know. But yeah. When y'all ready to hear my journey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to play some games, and this video will stay live. Not be one of the ones that on this, because I want people to hear about my journey. Maybe so, if y'all ready, let me know. We got 5 likes there, on the way to 10 likes. Every 5 likes after 10, we get a hype dance. So, here we go. So if I don't mention anybody in the comment section while we do this, I want to share this with you all. Because this is what came to my mind. I'm Chrislevi13. Y'all know me that, right? Behind the camera, I'm Christopher Levi, my last name. Some of y'all know my last name. And I'm a grocery store worker, right? Outside of this, been doing groceries since 2013. Previous to that job, I worked at a Halloween store, and previous to that, I worked at a movie theater. So we all got our journey. We all have our trials, our tribulations that life put us through, you know, and all that, and everything. Cabot, speaking of journey, don't stop believing, you know. But we all have our journeys, you know. And when it came to 8 years, I was at work yesterday, and I was like, my channel's 8 years old, you know. And yeah, I haven't hit 1K subscribers yet, but I felt like I wanted to share this journey with y'all because it's been trials, tribulations, struggles, me doing stuff, me doing this and doing that. And I feel like it'd be good and beneficial for me to do this and then pop on one of these systems and play some games, you know. So that's that and everything like that. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun, you know. So I started my YouTube channel back in 2012, people. 2012. It was a year after I graduated high school. I graduated high school in 2011, right? And I graduated. And I was like, okay, let's just go get a job because I wasn't going to college, right? Didn't get a scholarship or anything like that. I was a CB average student. Sometimes made some D's, you know. I failed one class in like 4 years of high school, you know, and I had to go to summer school for it, right? So I did all that, right? So I had some friends that I met from school. Some of them were most of them were a couple grades behind me, you know, maybe a year or two, stuff like that that I connect with. I still was friends with people in my school and all that, and everything like that. But I didn't really, you know, I worked my job, go hang out at my buddy's house, and that's it, basically, right? A year after high school. So he had a YouTube channel called T's POV. That's I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not giving him self promotion, and y'all know and y'all hear it in my story why I do that, okay? But it was a story, right? So it's 2012, right? We do that. He says, hey, you play you know, hey, you want to get into video editing, right? And I'm like, I've thought about it. He said, you got a computer, why don't you just make a YouTube channel and all that? So I was like, well, what could I call this? Do like me, put your first name, your middle or last name, and a number. Be something different. So I was like, hey, what's up, Chum Nasty? What's up? Hope you enjoy hearing my story as y'all all hear it. You know, so I'm like, okay. So I put Chris Levi, that's my first name. So a lot of people mess it up when they see me come in the chat. They say Chrislevi13. It's Chrislevi13, like Levi Blue Jeans, you know. So I did that, right? And I started doing that. And I didn't do and I did it at the beginning of the year. I didn't do much. Then that summer, me and 3 friends from school started a band, you know. And we had 1 original, 3 covers that we did. We did Dark Horse by Switchfoot. We did Say It Ain't So by Weezer. We were learning Monster by Skillet, and we had an original song. And as we did that, I said, I want to try out what you do. And he said, what? Talk wrestling? I said, yes. He said, well, you play music. You can talk wrestling, but you play music. So to put that together, and I'm like, rock and roll wrestling, you know, I like rock and roll wrestling outside of the band. We did backyard wrestling, which you shouldn't have done, but some dangerous backyard wrestling, you know. So I'm like that, and we wanted to pursue wrestling also as well, you know, and you know, because we always watch Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, TNA. We're sitting there hanging out all around the house, and all he did to make T's POV is he had an iPod that had a camera on it, right? And he'd be in his garage. He'd be in his backyard. He'd be in his bedroom. He'd be in his living room, kitchen, his mom's bedroom. He'd just set it up, start recording, you know, and all that, and just be like, hey, I'm Trey's point of view, you know, and all that, you know. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, do the same thing I do, but play a little bit of music in yours. I'm like, how can I play music? I don't know how to edit it in. He said, just get your guitar, get an amp. So we did that in his attic, an unfinished attic for the first episode. It's up on the channel. First episode. And I was like, okay. So I started, so every once in a while we did 3 seasons of it, you know, ups and downs, you know, and all that. I'll answer that in just a minute, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, so we're getting a group of friends together, you know, we're backyard wrestling on the weekends, you know, we're playing in a band, you know, just playing music around the house, and then we're chilling, eating junk food, working my job. I'm the only one that had a job out of the whole person, everybody in the band. I'm working my job, going out, hanging out at his place, you know, and all that, and just having fun. And then eventually I did comedy. I did share some of my backyard wrestling and unlisted videos on the channel. I've deleted all that stuff because I didn't want all that copyrighted stuff on there, because we had music we did, I did silly videos, little videos where like, oh, I'm doing this song and I make my voice higher, I did let's plays and all this stuff. And for a while there, that's what we did. I just put whatever I felt like doing on YouTube up there. I didn't think, oh, it was going to be a career. I didn't think, oh, I was going to be so passionate where people would want to donate to me, support me, make me cry on stream like they did last week. And I did that, and while we did that, we would go to indie wrestling shows. We'd hang out, do all our stuff, cool, great, grand. And then we had Skype at the time. And Skype, we would talk to people throughout things. Skype's how I met Logan of Big Evil Gaming, because we did this thing called RP wrestling, which is fake wrestling through promos, whether it be text-based promos or video-based promos in Facebook groups, kind of like a role-playing thing, right? So we did that, I took one of my gimmicks and morphed it there. One of my gimmicks I'll explain in a later portion of this, okay? And we did that, right? And I met all these different people, and we'd get on and we'd get in these federations, things, and we'd do this, well, outside of it, we'd have Skype calls with buddies where we'd get his computer or my computer set up, and we'd be on Skype, and we'd just talk for hours on end about music, wrestling, gaming, all that stuff, right? He's doing his videos, doing his trade's point of view, talking about wrestling, and having me and friends just get on there and talk about stuff with him. I'm doing my show where I'm doing the Rock and Rush show, where I do music, where I start off with a riff in the beginning, go into some wrestling topics, and then end on talking about my favorite bands and bands for the music topics. And it was a roller coaster ride, and we met a buddy through wrestling, right? And one night we were on a Skype call, and I said, we've been sitting here talking for 7 hours, I ain't got to work the next day, I said, why don't we make a gaming group together? Man, we see Achievement Hunter, we see Dashie doing all this stuff, we see Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, we see Vanos Gaming, we see all these different people, and a lot of them, what they're doing is simply playing a game, good, bad, or indifferent, and putting a little spin on it, right? And they said, what do you mean putting a little spin on it? I said, there's some people that are sitting there in the game is just a game. They're playing it like an average person, not doing anything great, not doing anything bad in the game. They're just playing the game and putting commentary over it, talking about their life. Like there's guys that we saw on YouTube that were talking about wrestling while playing a GTA or playing an old Simpsons game or playing their favorite arcade games or playing, all these different games and all that jazz. And I'm like, okay, so they're playing all these different games and just putting their commentary of music, wrestling, life, all these different things out there and all of that. And I'm like, okay, we can do that, So we started spitballing ideas, and I took one of my wrestling federation that I wrote like the stories for and all this. I said we had Mayhem Wrestling Alliance. I said, well, we may call it Mayhem Gaming Society. We're 3 people. We do this, and we're like, well, what consoles are we gonna do? Well, I have an Xbox 360. You have a PS3. He has a gaming PC, right? We can record that stuff and put it on the channel. So we're like, we have no capture card. So how do we do it? Hence cell phones. Hence an iPod. You get a tripod. I got a tripod down there. I'm not going to pick it up, but you get a tripod. You get it close to the camera, where all you see in the camera is the TV, right? You make sure the lights don't have your reflection on the TV. And you make sure you're far enough from it to where you're not blowing the mic out on your thing, but you also hear a little bit of the game from the TV. And you have it sitting there like this. And you're like, okay. Hey, Mr. Gamer and everybody else that's here, Brian and everybody. So we're like this, right? So we're sitting back there behind this, and we're saying, okay, record. We hit the button record on our phone, and boom, right? Okay, cool. We're doing it, right? Well, eventually we had to get an Xbox One, a PS4, and all this. So I went from Xbox 360 to Xbox One and got this bad boy right here. Still have it working to this day. Got this bad boy. My buddy, he got the Star Wars Battlefront PS4, and then the other buddy got a regular base PS4. And we're like, okay, our one buddy, he lived out of state. And we're like, okay, how are we going to do this? Well, y'all can upload y'all's videos to the channel. I can re-download them and edit them and all that stuff. But our buddy lived out of state. They had the game PC. I'm like, okay. So we we're like, there's 7 days in a week. How are we going to create content every day of the week? Well, I can do two Xbox videos per week in a Let's Play series. One on Monday, one on Tuesdays. My other buddy said, hey, I'll do PC content and you do PlayStation content. Okay. Well, that only equals, there's 3 people times 2 equals 6. That's 6 days. We're like, well, how are we going to do the other content? Well, why don't we do on Sundays group videos where we play a multiplayer game on the Xbox, the PlayStation, or a PC together, or it's a video where it's a co-op game where we're playing a game together, you know, like scary games where we're both in there watching or doing this or doing that. So we did that on the channel, right? And then we started to say, hey, well, we got these modern consoles, we don't have to record with this anymore. And people are like, and we're like, we just we have a Twitch. Nobody knows about this Twitch. You know, I had some random name. Nobody knows about this Twitch. I'm gonna get to everybody in the chat again in a moment. But nobody knows it's Twitch, and like we stream to that Twitch, and then we use the highlight feature, put it on YouTube, and boom, you know. And we're like, okay, that can work. That can work, you know, because we figure, hey, let's check out my phone. Am I live on Twitch? Cool, I'm live on Twitch, you know. So let's sit here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Borderlands, the pre-sequel with Chrislevi13. I've got my own YouTube channel, but also I'm right here as part of the Mayhem Gang Society, blah, blah, blah. We do that, right? And we did that for one time until the channel got copyrighted, and then boom, that channel got a strike on it. We deleted it. It got somehow deleted after getting 1 strike, and then we said we waited about a couple months, and then we went back and did it a second time. And then when we did it the second time, we made sure that, hey, our buddy would see what games we're playing. He'd make thumbnails, put our head in on the characters, and we would do all this different stuff, right? So we had content, boom, boom, boom. And then we had a Mayhem Gang Society Twitch, where every Friday night, one of us would be streaming on that from it's from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 a.m. We would stream on that Twitch. So we would stream stuff from Rare Replay to Mega Man games to Saints Row, all that different stuff on there, right? And while we're still hanging out with each other, I'd pack up since I didn't have good internet at my house, you know, I'd pack up all my stuff. I pack up like an Xbox 360, camera gear, all this, and lug it over to my buddy's house. And he had this little area when you went up the stairs, like this little hangout area, where there's a door to his mom's room, a door to his room, a door to the attic, a door to the bathroom, right? Well, I could sit there in the hangout area and see right into his bedroom. So he'd set up his PlayStation setup right there, and I set up the Xbox setup out here with my computer, so I could make Xbox content and do that. And then he could go do his content and then get on his computer, and we'd be able to spitball stuff to each other, you know, and all that, you know, and everything like that. So we would do that for a while, right? And we were doing all that stuff, and then we'd get up there and chat, and when WWE pay-per-views would be on, we'd sit there and watch the pay-per-views. And I'm still doing a little bit of content here and there on my main regular channel, but mostly my content's going to Mayhem Gang Society. Well, we did that for about 6 months, and then they finally came to me and said, hey, your content's getting dislikes, your content's doing this. I'm like, yeah, but my content has all these views on it, bigger views than y'all's content. You know, they're liking the Xbox content I'm putting out there. Yeah, well, you need to learn how to edit. I said, I don't have editing software. I'm using my shitty internet at my house to record these at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when my internet's good to get these out there for y'all, you know. And they finally told me, no, and all this other bullshit, you know, like, well, go work on your own channel, and if the content improves on your own channel, we'll let you back in Mayhem Gang Society. And I said, dudes, why are you doing this to me? I love both of y'all. They're both my brothers, Trey and Rudra. And I told these guys this, you know, I told them I love you. And I said, I don't even care about the content. I love the friendship, you know. And then they said, no, we're going to work on the channel. You focus on your own channel. And if the content improves on your own channel, you know, you can come back and join us. So I'm like, okay, well, I get kicked out of the group, basically, right? And they tell me to work on my own channel. So I start working my own channel, and I got like 30 subscribers in like a month's period of time, which eclipsed what they had on Mayhem Gang Society. I'm like, Mayhem Gang Society just going around 100 subscribers. I get to 130 subscribers, 140 I think it was, and they're looking at me like, oh, your content, whoa, can I join back in? Can y'all talk to me? They didn't really want to respond to me, so I'm like, okay. And then all my videos on the channel deleted, and I'm like, and so I start trying to get back and sign back into the stuff, to the passwords. They had changed all the passwords on everything to me. I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna talk to me. Okay, so what's up? And I'm thinking, okay, these guys, what's happening? I'll get, you know, and everything. I'm like, what happened? You know, my buddy, that went to school with me, he graduated a year after me. Quinn, he lives in the same neighborhood as Trey. So we'd go over to Trey's house and he'd like, oh, they're talking shit about you and all this on Skype, you know, and all these things. And I'd pay, earlier that year, the other guy, Rudra, I paid $200, half of the plane ticket to make him, help him fly from Michigan to Memphis, paid for his ticket to go to the zoo, paid him to get a car and all that stuff so he could hang out with us and do content there with us, right? And all that. You know, so we're kind of like a Rooster Teeth setup, like the way we did content, you know, when we did content in the house together, right? So if you've ever seen Rooster Teeth, old Rooster Teeth stuff, Achievement Hunter, that's kind of how we did it. And they started deleting all my stuff, and I was like, and I looked at the channel and I said, Quinn, everything that's deleted is my content, except for content that has them in it during the multiplayer Sundays, and they're the focus. If I was the focus or it was something done on the Xbox, they deleted it. And I'm like, that's bullshit. And he said, yeah, they're talking to you, saying you held the channel down and all this, blah, blah. I'm like, I never did that. I told them last time I talked to him, I love him. So Quinn stopped hanging out with him, right? Hanging out with Trey that lived in our same neighborhood. He only lived like a mile from where I worked. And I stopped doing this, you know, and all this stuff. And they stabbed me back, and then I started focusing on my own channel. So if you look at my channel in like late 2016, at this time, you'll see a lot of Let's Play style content that I tried to learn how to do all this stuff for, right? And a lot of it has dislikes because they'd make all these fake profiles to come over and harass me on my channel and try to get my channel shut down. And then I looked at it now, and if you look at, they only did content for another 6 months after I left the group, and I'm thinking, the content went down. They had their other buddy that had a PlayStation, so they did mostly PlayStation content because, oh, we can get into multiplayer, don't have to set all this fancy stuff up, like, you know, we can talk to each other, you know. I'm like, okay, and everything. So I focus on my own content, and then I get like almost to the point where I burn out, don't want to do YouTube anymore. And I'm sitting there at a crossroads in 2017. I'm like, what do? I want to create content because I love creating content. I love watching Dashy and Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, and I love seeing music channels and those wrestling channels, you know, and all this stuff. And I'm seeing people, you know, all these different people. And then and my mom's like, you know, save your money. She's like, you need a new computer, right? You've been saying it for a long time. You got the latest console, the Xbox, right? But you need a new computer, right? So I'm gonna get, you know. So I sit there and I'm thinking, okay, well, what do I do? She said, well, look for the computer you want. Get with your older brother who's 5 years older than me. He, you know, he's got a gaming PC. Get with him, you know. So I finally found the laptop that I'm using right here for $2,000. 2,100 and something was tax and all that, right? With 16 bits of RAM, all this gigabytes in it and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll get this right here. You know, I bought it on a new egg. It's an MSI laptop. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to need a mic. I'm going to need a capture card. So over the next 6 months to a year, I'm buying things every couple months when I get the money saved up, buying this stuff. And some of the stuff I'm still using today, from my Blue Yeti mic to the HD60S to right here to make more USB ports on my computer, to adapters for my Xbox controller to go, you know, all this different stuff, internet cords, all this different stuff. And I started doing that, and then finally I met people that I'm still talk to this day. I met Rax the Great, and I think it was RGT85 at the time, did some live streams in his old setup, right? Back when he still lived in North Carolina. And I forgot that's how I met Rax the Great, because I think Rax was in the chat one day, and he said, hey buddy, I checked your channel out, liked your stuff, you know, and all this stuff. And I saw Rax, and that's back whenever he had a weird haircut, and his first video was like that I saw of him with a fidget spinner video, telling how dated I am, you know. And he said you just need to do this and do this, get your sound quality better, do this, get your streams better, and do this. And we started talking, and then I met RGT85, I met Spot, I saw some Spot and Wave stuff, I saw some old OJ stuff, back when OJ had a thing, and I saw like his old channel. And then I started meeting other people in the community, you know, and then me and Logan reconnected, from RP Wrestling, because he said, fuck all that bullshit, you know, I'm gonna listen, you know, I'm gonna see who the real Chris Levi is, right? So he still was my friend, you know, my friend buddy Quinn. He went and got in the military and all of this, you know, and then he came back from the military and said, man, they're gonna talk all that bullshit on you, you know. You're the one that went and got a job. You're the one that got off your ass and got money and bought all this stuff. He was still just sleeping every day, not even taking a job and all this stuff. So and Quinn's just telling me, keep doing your YouTube thing. And I met all these different people, and then eventually I met Avedon, Chips and Sticks, T-Belly, J-Love, all these different people and countless names, people over 2017, 2018 year. And everything like that. If you're in the chat and I'm not referencing you, I apologize. I'm not looking at chat. I'm just trying to get my story told, and then we'll get into some games after it. And all these people and like all this stuff, you know. And Logan started saying, "Hey, I want to do some gaming stuff," and that's when me and Logan and Larry did Trip TLG for a little bit there. And I'm like, I was nervous about doing it. I said, I don't want to do a group thing because I got stabbed in the back by 2 people, and they made tens of people not be my friends anymore and block me on all social media and stuff and talk shit about me, you know. And all this, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do that if I'm, you know. And Logan said, man, I have you back. So we do that, right? So I'm starting doing all that stuff, and I started getting all that stuff, and then eventually you get to where I am now. Now I went from being a lot of Let's Plays to being mostly live streams, the occasional video when it seems right to do a video, and I'm very supportive of people on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, Instagram, Twitter. I'm always there every day, getting stuff popped up. Probably 10 to 15 people per Mixer, per YouTube, per Twitch popping up. Hey, this person's live. Hey, this person's live. You know, like right now, I literally got somebody just went live on YouTube. Live on YouTube. I got a notification for that. I got a notification for Mixer and Twitch all at the same time. You know, because these are people that I support. And all that, you know. And eventually I was like, you know what, I started meeting people. And whenever I asked Avedon to be on the Chillcast, I said, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this. He said, and I told Avedon straight up, I said, I have shitty internet. And the first time I got on, it was my shitty ass internet. And then finally when I got in this house, he said, I'm going to give you the opportunity to be on it again. I was like, okay. And then I actually did good, and I actually enjoyed it. Then the game leader said, I give you the opportunity to be on here. Cool, you know, and everything. I'm going to get to y'all in just a moment. And all that jazz. And then it's like last week, I just did a donation to say, hey, a ballsy donation. Hey, would he ever reference what I said? And he said, be on the next episode of the PE podcast. Just hit me up on Twitter and a DM and all this. And I couldn't DM him, so I finally tagged him as Dank told me to do it. And he said, and we had a good conversation, and he got me on the PE podcast. You know, I didn't, you know, and all of that. And every donation that I've ever gotten in the last couple of years has gone in my back of my channel to keep this laptop running, to get me cords for my Elgato, to go from Elgato to my PS2, to do everything that I do. And at times when I meet people, I am a little standoffish because I've been stabbed in the back. I've lost friends because of this. I've gained friends because of this. You know, I've had people sit there and say, oh, well, you get all these donations, why don't I get donations? Or, well, he's doing all this, why can't I do that? You know, or people that ask for my help, and I go to help this person, and then they slap me straight across the face, not personally because they're not here, but they've done it with what they do on their channel. So I've had a crazy journey. You can look at all my videos. I have probably, hands down, I can say, when I get done saying what I'm about to say, I'm going to look at the chat. I've had probably worked on close to 1,500 videos in my YouTube career. 700 videos, probably over 1,000 on my channel, 3,000 to 5,000 when I had the group channel. And I've helped out probably about 10 to 15 different YouTube channels, from Big Evil Gaming to Larry, my buddy, that, you know, and all this, help people out on Twitch, help make Mixer stuff, and done all this in the community. So I appreciate everybody that ever hits that like button, that dislike button. They come in my stream and they tell me I'm a piece of shit, or they tell me I'm good like gold. Whatever it is, I appreciate it, because to get to 1K is a mark that yes, I'm promoting this year more than ever. And that's because in January, my mom was sick and with some stuff that we thought she might not be here, but we got through it. Then this virus is kicking our ass left and right, especially me because I'm an essential worker at a grocery store. But I'm making it through it. There's been times where people have come into my streams, and when I only had 1 or 2 people, and I see all these people come in my stream, none of them subscribed, but they all gave dislikes, and I realized it was those people that were trying to get in my head again, you know, that didn't like that I kept doing this and all that. But anyway, let's see who's all here. So we got Dank Meme in here, we got Papa Jakin, we got Mr. Gaming, and Brian in here. We got Cabot up here, cool, you know. We got, let me see, a Slayer up in here. All these good people up in here. All of these good people. Thank y'all for being here, listening to me talk about my story and all that, you know, and everything like that. That, you know. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the story and all that stuff. You know, we're gonna play some games in a moment. You know, and yeah, You know, and there's days whenever I get home sometimes, and and it's literally from the time I get home to the time I go live, it's less than an hour. I get home, eat, clean up myself, take a quick shower, come sit right here and go live, and all that, and everything like that. There's days where I'm at work and I get cussed out because we don't have something, and I don't, and there's nothing I can do, or I this all this, but I do it. There's days where I get home and I'm sitting here getting my live stream ready while I have OJ popped up over here. I have Lit Gaming 999 popped over here. I know T-Belly is going on later that night. I have I'm watching an RGT85 or Spawn Wave video, or I'm watching Generation Gap Gaming, or I'm watching Metal Jesus Rocks or somebody's video while I'm sitting there setting up my stream and doing all this stuff because I want to make the best content for you all. That's why I've been saying I want to change my soundboard and add some more sounds to it, but I want to, and I'm gonna do it. That's why I've been looking at certain people to make me custom hype band music instead of using a beat that I got off of YouTube for me, and all of that. Just trying to get different things to provide for you all. That's why when I can, I do show my music and all that. I do this stuff. I have a whole stack of I have a stack of PlayStation 2 games, Xbox One games, PlayStation 4 stuff, and all that sitting right there. So anytime I need to do something physical, I can do it. But also I have a lot of stuff digital that I can do, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you for helping.